Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving straight into the fascinating biological blueprint of rebuilding aging muscle. Look, we are unpacking a really common and frankly, super frustrating issue today. Why simply eating more protein, like, say, adding a chicken breast to your dinner every night, might not actually be enough to maintain your strength once you pass 60. We've dug through the research to build this visual blueprint for you, and we are going to break down exactly what's happening inside your body and, more importantly, how to fix it.
So picture this for a second. Have you ever wondered why, despite doing what seems to be the right thing, eating plenty of chicken every single day to hit some protein goal, a regular old grocery bag still feels heavier than it used to? Or why just getting out of a low chair suddenly requires this little forward rock and a push from both arms? Now, that absolutely doesn't mean the chicken is destroying your muscle, but it definitely tells us that our strategy is a bit incomplete.
Section 1. What is anabolic resistance? Okay, so imagine two people sitting down and eating the exact same chicken dinner. One of them is 35 years old and the other is 74. Now, both of them digest the meal perfectly well, right? Both release those essential amino acids into their bloodstream, and those materials reach the muscles just fine. But here is the kicker. The repair response triggered inside the older muscle is simply not identical to the younger one. Scientists actually have a name for this. It's called anabolic resistance. In plain English, it's just a reduced muscle-building response to food or physical activity in older muscle. Think of it exactly like an old doorbell that's gotten kind of sticky over the years. Years ago, a light, quick little tap was enough to make it ring. But today, that light press just won't activate the chime. The signal needs to be a much firmer, much more deliberate press, and the wiring inside needs to be working properly to actually hear it. Section 2. Building the muscle environment. The crucial point here is that we have to move from just complaining about the problem to engineering a real solution. Let's picture muscle repair as a really busy construction site. Dietary protein provides the bricks and beams, the raw materials. But let's be real. Building materials just sitting on an empty lot cannot construct a house all by themselves. You need calories to act as the fuel, and you need workers to actually transport those bricks. And critically, you need a foreman to blow the whistle and give the signal to start building. In your body, that foreman is resistance activity. If any one of these components is missing, the whole construction site shuts down.
Now, chicken is undeniably a great food, mainly because it gives you all 9 essential amino acids that our bodies literally cannot make on their own. It brings a lot of really high-quality bricks to the site. But again, a pile of 9 perfect bricks doesn't do you any good if there are no workers to move them and no foreman telling them where to go.
Section 3. The new nutritional foundation. This brings us to a major shift in how we should probably be looking at our daily meals. We're introducing a broader nutritional foundation today using specific, really affordable foods to supply those missing workers, that fuel, and the overall system support. Here are the 6 gap-filling foods we are looking at: lentils, fortified nutritional yeast, sardines, pumpkin seeds, hemp seeds, and chia seeds. Now, none of these are meant to replace your entire diet, okay? Instead, think of each one like a specialized contractor brought in to solve a very specific problem on your biological construction site. Let's kick things off with lentils. Lentils might just be one of the most practical foods in a muscle-supporting kitchen. They're super inexpensive, and really importantly, they're soft and easy to chew for anyone who might find a tough steak a bit much to handle. But their real magic? They provide not just protein, but crucial carbohydrates for fuel. Remember the workers on our construction site? Your body needs energy to stay active. If you aren't eating enough overall, your body might actually burn dietary protein for energy instead of using it to repair muscle. Lentils provide both the bricks and the fuel. Next up is fortified nutritional yeast. And as a bonus, this stuff actually adds a really awesome, cheesy, savory flavor to your meals. These flakes are incredibly convenient, especially if you've noticed your appetite decreasing a bit with age. You literally just sprinkle a spoonful over eggs or soup to instantly boost your protein and B vitamins without making the meal feel heavy. But quick aside, I want to be absolutely clear here. You need to ensure the label specifically says fortified with vitamin B12, which is vital for normal nerve function. And it goes without saying, if you're experiencing unexplained numbness, unusual fatigue, or weird balance issues, go get a proper medical evaluation. Please do not try to self-treat a suspected B12 deficiency with nutritional yeast. Section 4. Supporting the muscle signal.
Now that we've strengthened the building materials, let's talk about the foods that support the cellular environment and the actual nerves carrying that muscle building signal. Enter sardines. These are an absolute game changer. Evidence suggests that marine omega-3s like EPA and DHA found in seafood can really support muscle protein metabolism. And what's brilliant about sardines is just the sheer convenience. In one small, cheap can, you get complete protein, marine omega-3s, and, if you eat those soft little bones, calcium and vitamin D for your musculoskeletal system. Plus, zero cooking required. That is a massive win on days when you're just too tired to fire up the stove.
Then we have pumpkin seeds. All right, let's be realistic here. Pumpkin seeds are not magic. Eating a handful isn't going to turn you into a bodybuilder overnight, but just a small handful can vastly reinforce a low-protein snack, like a bowl of oatmeal. They give you essential minerals like magnesium, which helps with normal nerve and muscle function, and zinc, which supports the enzymes that maintain your tissues. Essentially, they fortify the whole system surrounding your muscle repair. Hemp seeds operate in a really similar way. They're fantastic because they pack complete plant protein and healthy fats. But check out the number on the screen. 3. A typical serving is about 3 tablespoons. That's a relatively small amount of food, right? The goal here is to use those 3 tablespoons to reinforce a meal, like stirring them into some Greek yogurt, not to act as your only foundational protein for the entire day.
Section 5. The truth about chia.
Okay, we really need to tackle a food that is constantly surrounded by wild misinformation. You've probably seen an ad or some sketchy article claiming something outrageous, like chia is a tiny seed that builds muscle 50 times faster. Let's just explicitly debunk this dangerous fitness industry lie right now. No single seed, superfood, or powder on Earth is going to build muscle 50 times faster than normal food. It's just not biological reality. Look, chia is highly nutritious, for sure. It offers great fiber, minerals, and plant-based omega-3s. But context is literally everything. 2 tablespoons of chia just sitting alone in a glass of water, that's in the red zone. It completely lacks the sufficient energy and protein needed to preserve muscle. But you move into the green zone by mixing that exact same chia with Greek yogurt and a handful of nuts, suddenly, boom, you've created a substantial muscle-supporting environment. It's the ingredients around the chia that actually make the difference.
Section 6. The final exercise puzzle.
So, all of these nutritional adjustments we just talked about are fantastic, but they remain completely dormant without the final piece of the puzzle. Muscle is incredibly expensive tissue for your body to maintain. It takes a ton of calories and resources just to keep it around. If that muscle is rarely challenged by pushing, pulling, or carrying some meaningful weight, your body looks at it and goes, why are we keeping this? It receives very little biological reason to hold onto it, so it prioritizes other functions. You have to give it a reason to stay.
And this is exactly why creating a physical demand is paramount. We recommend aiming for 2 to 3 sessions of appropriate muscle strengthening activity a week. This doesn't have to be crazy heavy weightlifting. It could be using resistance bands or even just practicing standing up from a sturdy chair. Just please remember, if you have existing health issues, cardiovascular concerns, or kidney disease, always get proper medical clearance from your doctor before starting any new exercise or high-protein protocol. So how do we actually put all of this together in real life? Enter the 1-week meal strategy. This is a highly actionable blueprint you can literally start today. Please don't try to overhaul your entire diet overnight. That almost never lasts. Instead, just identify your single lowest protein meal of the day. Often, for a lot of us, this is breakfast. Maybe you're just having coffee and a piece of toast. Step 2, add a substantial foundation to it, like a couple of eggs, Greek yogurt, or even lentils. Step 3, reinforce it with a spoonful of hemp seeds, chia, or nutritional yeast. Just fix that 1-week meal and combine it with your regular resistance training.
Which brings us to our final thought for this explainer. Preserving your strength and independence as you age isn't about finding one miracle ingredient. It's about prioritizing consistency over intensity. It's about combining the right fuel, the right bricks, and a clear, strong signal from that foreman. So I'll leave you with this question. Are you ready to press the biological doorbell just a little bit harder today? Start with just 1 meal, give your muscles a reason to stick around, and take back control of your strength. Thanks for joining us.